Well, here at Fifth Third Field, the Swamp Squad is always bringing the energy, getting the crowd excited, and you never know what's going to take place on the field and around the field. I'm here with Kyle Harvell, second year with the Swamp Squad. What do you enjoy most about being a part of the Swamp Squad?
I think my favorite thing with the Swamp Squad is just being with all the people, as it's such a great environment, and especially the fans are just amazing. So just being with them all the time is just a great experience for me.
Now, throughout these last couple seasons, there's been some great promotions, and you're always coming up with something new. For the Swamp Squad, what's one of the craziest things you've ever been a part of?
So for me, one of the craziest things I've been a part of here would just be being the 90s guy. I wore this crazy outfit for a whole game, and it was super fun just acting like I was in the 90s, even though I was born in 2005. But it was still a great experience for me.
Now, you are a sport management major. Swamp Squad giving you a little bit of taste of what could be your future, maybe. What are you looking to do beyond this?
Yeah, so I want to be like a promotions coordinator or youth sport coordinator, and this kind of gives me that full overall taste of it as I'm here at the games doing the promotions, and I'm also with youth sport all the time working with stuff like that. So it's hopefully going to give me a great taste of what I want to see.
Lastly, I ask you this. If you're in the hot dog race where it's mustard, ketchup, relish, is anybody beating you out there?
No, not a chance. I'm going to smoke them. That's all I got to say.
You heard it right there from Kyle. Let's go back up to the booth.
All right, Brad, appreciate that. We'll see the next time he is in the hot dog race.
Confident young man.
Yeah, a little bit, huh? He knew, hey, I got this.
I like that.
Yep. Meanwhile, Will Wilson got a hit. Leadoff single against Woo-Suk as we look at Woo-Suk on the mound. This will be for Toledo. It'll be his third appearance. He allowed 1 run on 3 hits in 2 innings. Did pick up the save, if you recall, on Sunday. And he gave up a 1 run on 3 hits so far. He has not walked 1 batter with the Mud-Hens, and he struck out 8. And that is total time this year. With the Mud-Hens, he has no walks and 3 Ks. So he's throwing it pretty well. Started his year with Jacksonville. And a line shot, going to be up the middle. That'll be a base hit. Back-to-back singles as Petey Halpin has walked the last 2 times up. This time he gets a base hit. And the parade continues.
That completed every hitter in their lineup now has a hit.
Yep, you are correct. Yeah, it's been an impressive night for Columbus. This is a team that's been hitting it very well. And they've started off the second half as the top team in the West Division. Grounder foul, 4-3 mark. Indianapolis also 4-3. Louisville 4-3, and St. Paul 4-3 to start the second half. The top teams were Scranton and Syracuse, each 5-1. Durham 5-2. Oh, here we go. Here comes Durham. Been harder for them to make the playoffs every year with only 2 teams getting in, but if you recall, I don't know if you knew this, Tom, but boy, in the 2010s, 2000s to 2019, it felt like they were in the playoffs just about every year.
Every year, huh?
Durham always had a good team coming out of that South Division. Swing and a miss. Matter of fact, the only playoff games that I've done for the Mud-Hens, Jim and I did back in 2018, was against Durham. Won the first game here. Tough base running play when it looked like they were going to win game 2, and then went down to Durham and lost 2. That was it. 1-2 is low and outside to make it 2 balls, 2 strikes on Dom Nunez. So, yeah, I have a lot of playoff hockey games under my belt. Not many playoff
baseball, huh?
Nope. 4.
Well, hopefully that will change.
Yeah, one day it'd be nice. 2-2. And a drive in the air to center. Coming in and unable to get to it fast enough is Hicklin. That'll load him up. The 3rd straight inning that Columbus has had the bases loaded. And they've done it in multiple different ways. First time they went with a walk, then a couple of hits. Last inning they went walk, walk, walk. And now this inning, hit, hit, hit to load the bases.
Yeah, and think about this. This has all happened starting in the 5th inning.
Yep. Through 4, there were 2 hits for Columbus. And a tough swing there for Christian Cairo. 1 strike on him. It hasn't mattered who's gone in. Hernandez gave up 5, then Miller gave up 5. Woo-Suk Go yet to get an out here in the 7th. And the pitch will be in tight. Well, I'll tell you what, you never know what you're going to get each and every day. I mean, who knew our interview tonight that Brad just had would probably be the highlight, and it'll probably be your play of the game. The 1-1. Swing and a miss. We get a ball and 2 strikes. I mean, lost in all of this is Raquel Hernandez did strike out 8. And he did have a good performance in that regard.
He did. He was pretty good for 4 innings. That 5th inning just came unglued a little bit.
Started with the leadoff walk.
Yep.
A 1-2 coming up. And a chopper to Kreidler at short. He'll go to second 1. No chance for the relay. That'll put another run on the board as Will Wilson crosses the plate to make it 11-0. Out at second is Nunez. Reaching on the fielder's choice is Cairo. Yep, the Yankees have almost made it all the way back. It's 8-7 in the 7th inning. And Atlanta has come back to lead LA 3-2. That's in the 6th. Tigers leading 4-3 in the 8th. Just to give you the update there. And a 1-2 count as Milan Tolentino is at the plate. Actually, it's ball 1. I've not updated the count on the board yet. Houston leading in Colorado 2-0 early. Tolentino takes a splitter that's low and in the dirt. Make it 2-0.
Columbus hitters right now are, they're just trying to get happy right now. Add on hits and runs and pad that batting average.
The 2-0 is going to be low, 3-0. And the next offering going to be a drive to center. Backing up is Hicklin. He'll make the grab. Tagging at third, Petey Halpin. He'll score to make it 12-0. Sacrifice fly for Tolentino. Give him RBI number 36 on the year. And the runs just keep on coming. That's 2 in this inning. Well, Tom, I got to ask you this question. I know there's 2 outs in the inning as Chase DeLauder will come to the plate. So how did you handle this? If you're Gabe Alvarez here, I know you went through some games where you got beat, and you probably got beat 12-0 sometimes. How did you handle it back in the day, like with your players?
I was going to say, can I say not very well?
I figured not very well. Getting to know you here a little bit, but what would you say anything to the team after the game, or would you just let it be?
Yeah, most of the time I'm going to let this one go. You're just trying to get through this game now in survival mode. Hopefully he doesn't have to use all his pitching, that can affect tomorrow night. It's tough. These are the toughest innings to have to go through as a manager, being down a score like they are right now.
This is a spot here where you might use a guy like Riley Unruh and just say, can you give me the last inning or 2 here just to So you don't use any more pitching?
Yeah, depending on his, how he's set up for tomorrow and who he's got available tomorrow, that's definitely a possibility. This is when I would use that position player, in a game that's a complete blowout.
Go delivers, swing and a foul at the plate. 1-2 the count on DeLauder.
But there's nobody that feels worse than, Will Hernandez and the pitching staff and the Hens. There's really don't need to get on them as a manager. They're embarrassed enough, I'm sure.
Yep, tough night for the Mudhens. 1-2 pitch. Going to be low and outside to make it 2 balls, 2 strikes.
And like you brought up too, Matt, they're going to have their day in the sun as well at some point, and you just have to understand that that's part of baseball and move to the next day.
And the pitch will bounce in there. That'll run it full. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Now Washington threatening in the bottom of the 8th inning. At the bases loaded, nobody out. Tigers lead by 1. As Go is ready, he'll fire a swing and a miss. DeLauder strikes out. That'll limit the damage here in this inning as 2 more runs go. Woo-Suk Go is going to pitch a second frame tonight for the Mudhens. And the pitch will be off the plate outside. Ball 1 to Juan Brito. Brito tonight has the grand slam. Big blow in the 5th inning. Remember, that was a 1-0 game. Looked like they might get out of it. He drives this one high in the air down the right field line. Foul into the roost.
Yeah, that was the big blow of the game right there. It just opened everything up for Columbus.
Now, I asked you about what, Gabe Alvarez might say after the game, or if you would even talk to the team after a game like this one. What about on the other side? You get such a good run. Andy Tracy for Columbus. You just go back into the dugout and say, "Nice work, guys," or what?
Yeah, you ride this because, again, it probably doesn't happen that often as well. But, you don't want guys to give bats away on either side. But, yeah, Andy's got to feel really good about it. And I think, this is when the players feel very confident. And if they're competitive, this is a fun night for them.
2-2 pitch. Brito with a swing and a foul back to the screen. Just amazing, again, how fast a game could turn in the game of baseball. All of a sudden you look up, inning and a half after a scoreless game, and you got a 10-0 ball game. Drive high in the air. It's going to go foul. These can be tough ones to play out, too, really, at both sides, right? Everybody knows the final is going to be in Columbus's favor.
It is. And like I said, as a professional, you try not to give those at-bats away. You have a tendency to want to go up there and just swing at the first pitch and get it over with.
Swinging a foul back. No problem for Brito on that.
Sometimes guys, like I said, they try to get greedy and swing for the fence, so they might change their approach a little bit. But, yeah, these are tough games.
The 2-2. Swing and a miss. Brito gone on strikes. Good splitter from Woo-Suk Go. And the pitch will be lifted in the air to left. On the first pitch, coming in a bit is Padu. Will make the grab. C.J. Kafis 3-run homer tonight, but he flies out on the first pitch here. Well, there's 2 down. John Kenzie Noel will come to the plate here in the top of the 8th inning.
He's hit 3 balls hard tonight.
Yep, he has 1 that's landed. That was a double.
Lined out to left. His last at bat, he hit a 1-hopper to third base.
Yep, Riley Unro's going to start to loosen up down in the Mud Hens bullpen. And a drive deep to left. Way back it goes, and that's out of here completely. To Monroe Street it goes and beyond for John Kenzie Noel, as he'll hit a home run to make it a 13-0 game. Now let's see how far that one goes. It was 110 off the bat, 447 feet.
Other than the strikeout tonight, he's hit every single ball on the screws.
Yep, and he got rewarded with a bomb there. Look at this thing. Out onto Monroe Street it goes, over to the Glass City Center.
On the replay, that looked like that almost went to the Glass City Center.
I think it did make it. I mean, that thing was, whew. Was that cooking? Yep. Toledo lost the game earlier this year to the Iowa Cubs on May 8th, 12-0. That was here at home. That is the worst loss of the year until now they're trailing in the 13-0 category. Lost the game last week to Charlotte 9-zip, if you remember. And the pitch will be outside. 3-1 to Will Wilson. Will Wilson tonight has a couple of hits, scored a run, and he's going to take a strike.
Made a great play at third base.
Yes, he did. Yeah, that started a double play when it looked like the Hens might try to fight back in this game, and they were down 5-0 going to the bottom of the 5th, get the early single. And
yeah, it seems moot now, doesn't it? Doesn't seem
no
like
question.
that's a big play at all, but it could have been.
Well, in case you're wondering, that blowout loss that I talked about against Iowa where they lost 12-0, the next day they came back and won 7-3.
Well, if you're going to lose big, get it out of the way and come back tomorrow.
That's right. Swing and a miss. Woo-Suk goal. Get him through the inning. Couple of strikeouts. He does give up the long homer to John Kenzie Noel. 447-footer. 13